Have you ever recorded your guitar with the absolute perfect performance, but your tone sounds like a jam jar full of bees? Well, rejoice, because Walrus Audio are here to save the day. This is the Canvas Reamp box. And in this video, we're going to go over what it does, how you can use it in your workflow, and at the end, I'll tell you if I think it's any good. Now, firstly, to explain what this box does, I've made you a little diagram. Now, this is a typical recording setup where you plug into your pedal goes into the amp, you mic that amp up, plug it into the audio interface, and record into your computer. The Reamp box basically replaces the guitar player, and you can plug any pedal in you want, change anything around, and re-record that to your heart's content, keeping the same performance. So if you nailed the take but didn't nail the tone, a Reamp box is your friend. All you have to do is to make sure that you record a clean guitar track. And I don't mean clean like with a clean amp and no effects. I mean absolutely clean by recording from your guitar directly into your audio interface. Right, let's do a real-world demonstration. Coming up is a short video of me recording a demo of a song for my band. I recorded it outside with my MacBook and an audio interface and a guitar. No amps were involved, it's just the stock plugins. Now those tones are good enough for a demo. They get the idea of the song across, and that's the purpose of doing it. However, if I wanted to use that performance in the final recording, I would definitely want to change the tone just a little bit. We're talking real fuzz pedal, and we're talking tube amp, such as this Revv D25. So, thanks to the Canvas Reamp, I can do that. This is the sound of the guitar plugged directly into the audio interface with no plugins. So I have a clean DI signal. Now I need to get that out of the computer, into the amp, and then back into the computer. Here's how we connect it. I need a jack cable from the left side of the audio interface into the in of the Canvas Reamp, and then from the out of the Canvas Reamp into the Eons Fuzz in, and then Eons Fuzz out into the amplifier. Then we plug one end of the XLR cable into a microphone and the other end into input 1 of the audio interface. A few more things to do, and that is to solo the guitar that I want to reamp, and also I've put it all the way to the left, so it's only coming to the left speaker, so you're getting a full guitar signal out of that output into the amp. Right, let's go back to the beginning of the track. Now I want to add a new track, and if you're using a different DAW, it'll be slightly different for you. But audio, and I want input 1, create, and then I'm going to call this Git1 Reamp. Whoops, Reamped. Before I record anything, let's get the sound that I want. So this is the creative part. I'll loop a section of the riff, and when I press play, I'll leave this mic on up here just temporarily so you can hear it coming through the overhead mic. There it is. Let's also put in this fuzz pedal. So this is the Eons Fuzz. There. So that is definitely going to be one of the guitar sound. I've got two guitars, one left, one right, and the left is the neck pickup and the right is the bridge pickup. That is the neck pickup that's going to go through that sound fuzz. I got pretty lucky with my levels there, but I've got a volume knob on the side of the Canvas Reamp should I need to drop that volume down a little bit, and I can of course increase or decrease the gain on the preamp. Everything's green. That's actually why I like this this audio interface, because when it's green, you've got this lovely flashing green light that's nice and simple. Cracking little interface that. Anyway, let's try a different sound for the second guitar. Got a guitar solo in there as well, which is a little bit of noodling. So let's change out the pedal and get a totally different sound for that lead line. Let's go for the Iron Horse. Okay, so solo. Now, this might sound like a silly thing to say, but it actually sounds like there's someone in the room playing guitar with me, and my son just came downstairs and said, "I really like your guitar playing, Daddy." I'm not playing. I played that yesterday whilst he was asleep. Let's not stop there. Let's send the drums through the Iron Horse and the Revv D25 to see what that sounds like. Do the same thing with the bass through the eras. That is amazing fun. Save. Right, I know I'm overdoing this, but let's also put some keys. I'm going to put it through the 𝗨𝗨, which is a kind of ambient pedal. Right, that is every instrument reamped through the amp with a bunch of pedals. I'm going to mix it and we'll have a listen to it and compare it to the original that was using plugins. Now, I don't think either of those mixes are going to win any mix competitions, but that's not the idea here. Hopefully, and I would recommend you take a second listen, hopefully you can hear that the reamped guitars seem more alive and there's more energy in them and more dynamics and more fuzz and something that's a bit cooler. I'm sure I could get better sounds out of the stock plugins if I tried, but that's not the point here. The point here is that I recorded clean guitars, messed with them in a plugin just to get a ballpark sound, and then quite frankly had a lot of fun messing around with pedals whilst somebody else played guitar. And I think that's one of the major benefits of reamping, is that you're only worried about your playing, so you get that sort of ballpark tone that you want, that gives you the feedback you need with an instrument sort of relationship with that plugin. But then later you can act as a producer and you can really hone those tones. And honestly, if this video was a lot longer, I would be spending a lot more time fiddling with pedals and having all sorts of combinations and maybe even different amps, because there really is no limit to the number of pedals, the number of amps, I guess, that you could use, and then even have two different amps playing the same thing, or one really dirty and one clean with a massive reverb. You can get as creative as you want. And that's also possibly a downside of reamping, is that once you start doing something like this, it becomes obsessive and you can spend hours, waste hours, although it's not really wasted because it should be fun and it should be experimental. And then also if you have a sort of go-to set of pedals, you can go anywhere and record some clean DI with a plugin. You can sit in your garden like I did in your pajamas, or you can go to the beach or the top of a mountain, which I probably will do in the future. The point is you can then bring those tracks home or to a studio, or even send them to some expensive studio that has loads of gear and say, these are my clean tracks, I want this kind of sound, please reamp them for me through your expensive 1960 something Fender blah 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 amp that is a unicorn amp. So reamping is another tool in a guitarist's and producer's tool belt that you can just open up a whole new world of creativity. I said I was going to review this, and I will. Now, I've got a pre-release version and a pre-release price. I was told it's 175 euros, so that might be accurate. I expect it to be in that sort of area. It's Walrus audio. It's built superbly. It's thought out well. It fits on your pedal board. It's passive, doesn't need a power supply. It's got its own little internal transformer, which is custom made for the Canvas reamp. I can't really tell you how good it is because it just did the job. And I've done reamping a few times and I have a few audio interfaces that reamp and I don't need one of these. However, if you're out on the road and you've got yourself a little sort of, what's it called? Focusrite, Scarlett 𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗚, a small audio interface. This is absolutely perfect for just throwing in a gig bag and taking to someone else's studio and stealing all their tones. We've got 4 buttons on the side that I haven't talked about. These 4 buttons are a ground lift, so if you've got a problem with hum coming from using an XLR and your amp and you just press that, it lifts that. You've also got a mute button. Not sure why that's there. There's probably a good reason. However, that mute button could also cause problems if you're getting no signal, so be careful you haven't got that pressed in when you don't want it to be. If you need to reverse the phase, there's a phase switch there as well, and there's a high-pass filter in case you're getting rumbling that you don't want from, say, drums or some bass, and you just want to reamp those high frequencies to get some knack. On the side there is the volume knob, again for adjusting the output if you don't have lots and lots of output knobs on your audio interface. I think it's a good price. It worked. That's all I can say, and I hope you enjoyed this video because I definitely enjoyed making it. There are links to this and all the other things I featured in this video in the video description. Please let me know what you think of this video in the comments section, and there's a subscribe button just there if you want to come back for more sometime. I will be here ready and waiting with a smile. See you later. Bye-bye.